Good morning, everybody. We're back out here in our room where we do our butchering and everything at. And yes, it is cold again this morning. It's freezing again this morning, which is good. But we don't warm this room up to come in here and do our work. We leave it cold because we like to keep it that way. It's more sanitary to keep a room cold. We have our pork bellies laid out here from smoking them yesterday. We've let them sit in the fridge all night long. And I actually put them in the freezer just a little bit to chill them down. And actually I left them in like a little bit too long. And now they're like hard. So, but they're thawing out pretty quick. And we're going to try to go ahead and start the slicing process. I ran this one here one little bit right here to make sure that it was going to work at this particular temperature. After running the bacon through one time right there, we looked at it and we have a real good, it looks really nice. And it looks like the machine is going to cut it all right. So we're going to start the slicing process. And guys, we don't slice our bacon real thick because it just, I just don't like it real thick. I would rather have thinner bacon. That way, if it happens to be a little bit too salty, we can throw it in some warm water for just a few minutes and let it soak for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes before we actually cook it, and the saltiness is gone if you do it thin. Now, when I say thin, I'm not talking about thin like you get at the grocery store because that bacon is ridiculous to me. I'm talking about probably 1/8 of an inch thick. I'm not talking about this big old thick stuff. That's made for seasoning beans and stuff. I'm talking about 1/8 inch thick bacon. Now, let me make a comment before we go too far. There's going to be some scraps left over off of this. Those scraps will be bagged separately just for things like seasoning beans or seasoning turnip greens and stuff like that, beans and rice, different things like that. It will be set aside for that. Some cabbage, maybe if you want to cook some cabbage or something. Some soups or stews and things to give it that little bit of a smoky flavor. We don't throw anything away. That's why a lot of channels I've looked at, they go ahead and square up their bacon and everything before they, their pork belly, should I say, before they ever smoke them. I don't do that. I just go ahead and just smoke the whole thing as is. Now, I do cut it in half, like you've seen on the video, but I leave it all of it there. That way, when I get through slicing bacon, the pieces that's left over, hey, it's already smoked and it's already cured. It's ready to go in the freezer for whatever we want to use it for, to season things. So before we wait any longer, I'm going to go ahead and put my rubber gloves on here. This is always the part right here. Kind of tough for me because hard for me to get these rubber gloves on when everything's really cold outside. But for sanitary purposes, our forefathers didn't have this now. But because everybody today is germophobics, we're going to put them on. And it's for y'all. It ain't for me, okay? I'm just being humorous right now, but I can imagine. I can only imagine. That's the name of the song. I can only imagine my grandpa or my great grandfather wearing rubber gloves to do pork with. To me, they would roll over in their grave and laugh at me, But the world we live in today, everybody's, you might get something. So we're going to put rubber gloves on to do this with, guys. We've got our slicer here. Now, this slicer is basically not made for slicing bacon. This is not a commercial slicer by no means. This is just a deli slicer. It's made for slicing things like square stalks of cheese and hams and bologna and things like that. It's got this little handy little plastic pusher. It just slides over the end out here, comes in. The table rolls back and forth. It can flip over like this. I know it may be a little difficult to see, but it flips over where you can get in here and clean everything. Flips back. Now, technically, I could flip this over out of the way and run the big pieces of bacon through there, but I've learned how to do it from the top up here. And the biggest thing with these is just be safe. This thing will cut you in a heartbeat. That wheel is razor sharp and it will cut. So this is a Savory brand. Now, a lot of y'all are going to ask, well, what kind do you have? It's called a Savory. Now, not the fancy stuff. It just gets us by here at Deep South Homestead. We would love to have a commercial one, but right now, financially, it's just not in the making for us. We have other projects that are a little bit more important. So let's get to slicing bacon and see how it looks. Okay, let's take a look at this bacon. Now that is nice looking bacon. Now, let me mention that when you're slicing bacon, some people like their bacon real wide, some people like it thinner. That's all in how you slice it. That's controlled by how you hold the bacon slab when you're cutting it. Now you can tilt it and make it wider, or you can move it over and make it thinner. That's up to you. I like mine about that width. It fries out good in the skillet. Wanda and I, technically, we don't leave our bacon this long whenever we're trying to fry it in the skillet. We actually cut it in half and we put the two halves in the skillet. It seems to do better for us that way. Okay, Miss Wanda now is getting our bacon over. We weigh it out in 1 pound packs. We went ahead and cut it in half. That way it seems to, we can wrap it easier. It takes up less space in the deep freeze. And then we don't have to cut it whenever we get ready to come in the house to actually cook it. So. A lot of people will say, you know, why don't you just vacuum seal it and all this kind of stuff? Well, we have wrapping paper here in the barn, so we're going to wrap it, but we're also going to put it in freezer bags. That will help to give it a little bit more extra protection. We write on it what it is, the date that we done it, so that we're sure about the length of time that it's been in the freezer. All right, we have completed slicing the bacon now. We ended up with total with trimmings and everything. The trimmings ended up being 1.5 pounds. We ended up with 18.5 pounds total with everything that we took off of these bacon slabs that we had. So basically, we only lost 1.5 pounds of weight from the actual pork bellies. Now, I believe that was probably just the moisture coming out of it. And it looks like it's going to work out really good for Wanda and I. You know what? We've got 2 more of these to go. You know, so this is half of our bacon that we have to do. So 18.5 pounds total. 1.5 pounds of it's seasoning meat. The rest is bacon. And then we've got 2 more pork bellies to go. And that'll be done next week because we got cold weather coming up again next Friday and Saturday. So today we pulled them out of the freezer and we've got them thawing so that we can start curing them this week and have them ready for next weekend. And we're fixing to take off and take a piece of this to the house. And we're going to give it a sampling just to see how it tastes, guys.
Hey, welcome to the kitchen, and we have bacon. Yes, we just got through wrapping it, and all my pretty wrap work just got to come loose. And so I have home bacon, and I'm going to be frying it up in a pan. We're going to be putting 3 or 4 slices of this bacon in our pan. Isn't that beautiful? Danny and I cut it in half because it's so long, and it saves a step in the morning. You don't have to get up, slice it, and put it in the pan. It's already sliced. And for the 2 of us, this little pan works just great. You hear it frying up in the pan. That's what you want, guys. That's what you want. You want it to just sizzle and fry. And I'm going to turn it down just a touch because I don't want it on choke high, but reasonable high. And don't you wish you had smell-o-vision? No, they didn't have one simple. Alright, we have our bacon ready. We're going to test it. This is how much bacon drippings, I guess you would say, is left. I like to save these. You can freeze these. You can put it in something and freeze it. Or you can just store it for 3 or 4 months in the refrigerator. But that makes some fine, fine peas. It makes great beans, dried beans, soup. You can add it to anything.
Okay, guys, we come in. Miss Wanda's cooked up a couple of pieces. She cooked it the way she likes it, not like I like it. And
it's not even salty.
Matter of fact, I would have to admit I cheated. I ate a piece before we started.
We both did.
She was actually filming a video, and I snuck in here and got one of them. And I
like mine crispy. You would like yours a little bit more.
I like my bacon still soft. Wanda cooked hers hard.
Done.
Really hard.
It's awesome. It's like jerky when it's done.
Well, it's like rocks right now. But,
and that's the way I love it.
Yeah, she likes hers like that.
And y'all, I have fresh tomatoes. Guess what?
BLD!
I think we have some lettuce.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, it pays to have a green stalk. Check the link in the description below.
Yeah.
I have spinach. I have chard.
That's good bacon.
It is good bacon.
Gosh, that's good. Even if it's overdone.
You do some good bacon. Your EPIC Smokehouse worked perfectly.
Man, I mean, it ain't even salty.
No. So the bacon cure that we used in the curing bacon works.
Worked really well.
Tastes fantastic. Y'all, wish you had smell-o-vision. Wish you could taste it.
Yeah. Hold on a minute.
I can't smell that.
Sniff. Sniff.
Taste.
Sniff. Sniff. Look at that. Now, Miss Wanda overcooked it for me, but guys,
perfect for me.
That is good bacon.
The EPIC Smokehouse is a winner.
Yeah, The bacon recipe was a winner.
Yes.
I mean, that's perfect. I mean, that right there has no salty taste whatsoever.
It's perfect.
All you taste
Smoke.
is smoked bacon.
And we use pecan. And we use
pecan. It worked out so good, guys.
We have some more recipes coming up in the smokehouse. We're going to be doing another slab of bacon, 2 slabs.
We've got 2 more pork bellies to go.
Yeah. And then we've got some upcoming videos with some more stuff in the smokehouse. So the smokehouse is not finished, guys.
Oh, no, it's not just for bacon.
It's not just for bacon anymore.
No, we got some massive things coming up in the smokehouse.
You got to do some creative
you got to think.
carpenter work.
I'll do a little creative carpentry work, but we are fixing to use it for a lot of other things here on the homestead, and I think that this is going to be
perfect.
Probably my best work yet.
Till the greenhouse.
Till the greenhouse. Yeah, till the greenhouse. I never eat store-bought bacon because I don't want the sodium erythobates and all the other things that's added in with it. I don't particularly care for them. My system just doesn't agree with them. But now homemade bacon usually works out pretty good for me.
I'm sorry.
It's all gone. It's good, ain't it?
I have about 17 more pounds plus 20 more to go.
20 more to go. Okay, guys, we got a lot of work to do, so thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.